And here we are by the new and pre-built geoponics lab. I guess we can go say hi to Dad. Your dad is doing some maintenance on your mom's private garden. I can't believe she put some native plants in here, he says, wiping his face with the back of his wrist. We used to argue all the time about wasting geoponics resources on them, but look here. He shows you some green vines are climbing up the same trellis as a bobber fruit. Even she was coming around. Well, I guess before we decide what to do for the month, we can look around, see if we can find anything to gather. So there's command. Hey, Dees. Hey, Anemone. Base. Here's engineering. Cal. He has something to say. You had plans to hang out with Cal today, but when you arrive at the geoponics dome, it's worryingly dark inside. You fumble around the red emergency lighting until all the lights come back with a heavy ka-clunk of a beaker being flipped. You blink into the sudden blinding light until the figures of Cal and Chief Engineer Instance resolve themselves in your vision. Absolutely no more of that, young man, Instance scolds Cal as he cradles his hoverboard in his arms. The power grid is not your plaything. I understand, Auntie, Cal says. I'm sorry. Instance mutters to herself as she passes you. Honestly, all this over a toy. Hey, Dudette, Cal greets you. Sorry, I meant to meet you outside after work, but... He looks down at his hoverboard. My board wouldn't start, and I figured maybe it was out of juice. When I plugged it in, it threw off all the sparks, and the whole power grid shut down. Cal's shoulders slumped. I was gonna ask Dr. Instance to take a look at it, but she told me she doesn't have time to fix a dumb toy. I'm sorry. Yeah, Cal sighs. It's just... Cal rubs his eyes. We've only got a few things left from when we were kids, you know? Everything else is broken, gone, or dead. It's always kind of sad when the piece of old technology needs to be retired, but Cal seems to take this one harder than most. He hugs the hoverboard to his chest and excuses himself, not wanting to hear your goodbye. Cal. Yeah, let's head over to the... Oh, we can say hi to Nomi Nomi. Nomi is running around making pew-pew noises at things that are like shooty imaginary lasers, which is fitting because that's exactly what they're doing. Well, hey, Solana, they say when they notice you watching. Do you want to play Laser Fable? It's so fun. Today I was actually going to go to geoponics and work with the xenobotany again, but maybe another time. You had a project growing in the greenhouse lab for a few years now, splicing the genomes of plants from both Earth and Vertumna, trying to come up with a way to make Earth plants more likely to take root and flourish in the nitrogen-weak Vertumnan soil. Gene tech has always been a part of your life. Everyone you know has some sort of genetic enhancement and have some large-scale gene editing later in life, like tangent transition. You know it's possible, but your knowledge of Vertumnan genomes isn't as complete as the human genome. The trick is finding exactly the right Vertumnan genes to splice into exactly the right Earth plant. So, can you do it? Will today be the day you make that breakthrough? We can try! Okay. Okay, 24 is more. So... no, that's not. That one's no good. Okay. Well, we do have 7. Okay. And we can try using six. 38 and 5. Okay. You double-check congruence simulation 100 times, and the results have always gone the same. A truly viable genome composed of genes from both Earth and Vertumna, and in every chemical simulation congruence can run, it successfully takes root and flourishes. You look at the tiny, barely sprouted plants. This could be the beginning of a new era of agriculture on this planet. Too bad you didn't have this years ago when you really needed it. But better late than never. May no future generations ever have to suffer like you did. You can't wait to share this knowledge and use it on other earth plants like strawberries, bananas, kiwis, all the delicate plants that need such careful tending in hydroponics, growing strong in Vertumnan soil, feeding the colony for generations to come. You call your dad to check over your work. He agrees with you in congruence. This is huge. He gives you a big hug and tells you he's never been more proud. You'll earn twice the kudos working in the lab from now on in recognition of your contribution to the colony's continued survival. Wow. And now it's late pollen. I guess we'll see if there's anything to collect again. Hey, Dees. Oh, hey, wasn't it? There's something like watching the kids? Living quarters. No. Oh, I think it was up here, I guess. No, that's the delivery depot. So, okay, there's the garrison. Sports ball. Engineering, here it is. Okay, I guess we'll try to get my organization up and then work on tutoring the kids. Hey, Cal. You spot Cal sitting in the dirt, picking sullenly at the grass. He is weaving it together to make a bracelet. Sometimes it helps if I'm doing something with my hands, he says quietly. If I start to feel scared or upset, I just take a deep breath and try to reconnect with the planet. Okay, I guess we'll head on over back to... Oh, Dad. I should check on him. You spot your dad munching on a soy ration. You know, these soy pods from the new ship are pretty good, he says. I know it's basically the same stuff as what we've got, but it tastes different. He examines the bar with a critical eye, probably some kind of unique chemical fingerprint of the kitchen nanoprinter. Well, here we go. No wonder your dad likes the lab. It's one of the few places during this time of year that's guaranteed to be pollen-free. The environment is always carefully controlled so the pollen can't get in and contaminate the samples. Okay. Hehe. I smart. And 25. We're so close to our first market organization. But now it's the early dust season. So now is even more of, oh, ooh. been more of an opportunity to see if we can find anything, now that a new season has begun. Oh, and Dad has something to say again. You overhear your dad talking to one of the other cultivators. He seems to be upset about something to do with the new governor and people from the heliopause. When the other woman leaves, you have a chance to ask some burning questions you have. Who are they? Your dad looks startled and tries to muster up a friendly smile. Oh, you heard us, kiddo? Listen, Solana. He hesitates and looks around nervously, as if afraid you're being watched. You're just going to have to trust the adults on this one. There are things you're still too young to understand. Okay. The Helios came here just like us, looking for a better life, he tells you. Some of them had other reasons too, but now that they're here, we have to learn to work together. When your mother and I were young on Earth, we learned a hard lesson. He gives a grim smile. We learned a lot of hard lessons. One was that it's safer to be led by one dangerous person than to be attacked by an army of them. He lets that sink in. Another was that sometimes when adults tell you not to worry, you should listen to them. Go on, enjoy your youth. He gestures towards the heliopause. Get to know some of the new kids. I'm sure you'll find they're a lot like you. Before you can say another word, your dad is called back to work. There's still so much to be done to rebuild the farms and geoponics greenhouses, and you can see people from the Helio helping him. Maybe they aren't all that bad. Hey, Cal. You spot Cal sitting in the dirt, picking sullenly at the grass. Is there something that might make him feel better? Maybe we'll wait till later this month. And I'll give him that cake from Tammy. Flower. There's Dees. Hey, Dees. It takes a long time to find Dees today. When you do, he's hiding in the bend of one of the transports used by expeditions. Don't make me go home, he says, pulling the dust tarp over himself. It's so crowded, I can't hear myself think. I get how that feels, Dees. Oh, hey. Where'd Mars go? Okay, she's up there now. Well, Dad did want us to talk to some of the new kids, so we can try talking to them again? Rex hasn't gotten used to life on the surface yet. You remember your first year. Vertumna seemed so enormous, so full of dangers and mysteries. Well, it still does, but the shock eventually wore off. Rex still has that slightly bewildered look on his face every time he walks outside and the sunlight hits his face. It's so bright and warm. I guess we can give you a hug? Rex folds you into his arms, bending his whole body into you. He smells warm and a little spicy, like clean, sweet sweat and sunshine. It's a good hug, the kind that makes you instantly just a little more relaxed. Well, I still think Cal smells better. Him. Hey, Anemone. Anemone fiddles with her personal defense blast cutter. Never thought I'd actually be using one of these, she says quietly. Guess we all gotta be ready to defend ourselves now. Yeah. Hey, Nomi. Nomi is running around making pew-pew noises. So what's over here? Was it just that one flower, or is there anything else? Maybe it was just the flower. Come on, Cal. Let's go back to geoponics. Surveyor Tonin found a blep grass shortly after the colony landed on Vertumna. The waxy violet grass glows almost everywhere near the colony. When you steep its roots and you get deep purple tea. It tastes horrible, grassy and bitter, but it's a stimulant and mildly hallucinogenic, so the adults think it's great. They've been drinking it for years with no ill effects except for an overwhelming urge to stick your tongue out and say blah when you taste it. You've been trying to cultivate new variants that don't taste as awful or have more potent stimulation or hallucinogenic properties. Maybe you'll find some entirely new medicinal uses. You're ready to start a new test strain. Tangent would probably appreciate a better stimulant, and Cal would appreciate a nicer trip. I guess I'll try it on myself. You brew yourself a cup of tea. Ugh, you really didn't do anything to improve the taste. A few hours later, you notice you feel more open to the creative vibrations of the universe. Like anything you could imagine could become real. You just have to get the right resonant frequency of the molecules. That's the trick. You scribble out some notes. A few hours after that, you take a look at your notes. Well, luckily no one else needs to see those. And 28. And I got 3 stars. Nice. The Vertumnalia Festival is a welcome day of normalcy in the otherwise chaotic year. Despite some lingering rivalry between the two factions, Vertumnalia is a chance for the Helios and Stratos to come together and appreciate the bounty of the planet. Oh yeah, this would be their first Vertumnalia. At least, that's what the adults say. As Governor Loom takes the stage to address the colony, you can't help but notice the crowd has segregated itself according to their ship of origin. Rex shoots you away from over on the Strato side, and Nomi makes a silly face. Base is surrounded by other young soldiers, all looking sharp in their heliopause uniforms. With Cal standing beside you, you wonder if the two ships will ever feel like one colony. A fanfare plays over the square's announcement system. Bloom's honor guard to do a complex drill with the other drone rifles. Greetings, people of Vertumna, Loom says, his voice ringing over the square. We may be far from our beautiful Earth, but we can still celebrate and be thankful for what we have here. We've worked hard to save this beleaguered little colony from the brink of destruction, and should be proud of our work. The Helios cheer. Your side of the square is more quiet. I know some of you has been asking, Loom, how are you going to do it all by yourself? How are you going to run the colony, solve everyone's problems, and turn this planet into a paradise? And look this good. Loom strikes a pose to a smattering of polite applause. Well, I have the answer for you, he continues. The old council made a lot of bad choices, like illegally leaving Earth, but I believe in second chances. So I've appointed the original department heads to my own council, Loom's Council 2.0. Better not disappoint me, he laughs and makes a finger guns at the department heads at the foot of his podium. Stay on your toes, Stratos. I also want to promise everyone here today that we're going to make Vertumna safe for humans, Loom says. The next time those oh my goodness. The next time those Xenos attack, we're going to blow them away into so many pieces they won't have enough left to wipe off our boots. We've already got the defense, he says, gesturing broadly to the new, taller, thicker walls. And we're building homes for everyone, homes where people can raise children again, knowing that our military men and women are keeping us safe. Oh, I don't like him. Big cheers from both sides this time. Some of the colonists around you even have tears in their eyes, especially those who lost family in the last attack. Loom goes on for a while, lionizing the Heliopause's military strength and casting subtle digs at your failed colony experiment. Finally, the crowd disperses to set the square for the afternoon festivities, some traditional and some new. At the tables, Auntie Anne and the kids are setting out to spread for dinner. There's an unimaginable amount of food, thanks to the Heliopause's huge ration surplus and the piles upon piles of xenommeat from the hunting parties, for those who can stomach it. I know Cal won't be able to. Cal is probably really not happy about everything that they're doing to the animals. Anne is all smiles, clearly making an effort to move on, as Loom mandated, despite still mourning the loss of her son Calm. But not even the festive atmosphere can force a smile on Anemone's face. I miss my mom. Cal hauls a massive tureen of stew onto the table. Yeah, me too, he adds quietly. She should have been here to see this. I think she'd be really proud of how hard we worked in geoponics. The chime sounds to announce the square set up for the annual competitions. I guess the only thing option I have is Bake Off. Oh hey, me and Cal. The Bake Off is a new challenge this year. In celebration of the great surplus of food, today's theme is chili, spicy bean stew. Not pixie beans though. Cal adapts to the gourmet earth dish with alien ingredients. Okay. Okay. Here's 3, 5, 4, 4, 5, 8. Oh, we're so close. We just need 5 more. Okay. Now we just need 3 more. And this is where we can get our mushwood. 37. Hold on. Can I use it on the same one again? Yes. Okay. And we've won. And we got 3 stars! You make chili that's so perfectly balanced, one of the judges cries, and not just from the spice level. You win the cooking competition. After the festivities, the mood in the colony is a lot lighter. You see people smiling easier and often see mixed groups of Helios and Stratos socializing together. It feels like the first time people have actually let themselves relax. Okay. I guess we'll go explore the area some more next time.